Hi everybody, my name is Sophia Middleton from Extra Pair of Hands, and today I'd like to introduce you to Ken Adams of Chloripet. Now I'd like to give a quick summary of what Chloripet is all about, but I think it's far nicer, makes more sense to hear it direct from the horse's mouth. Forgive the pun, but you'll understand that in a few seconds' time. So first of all, Ken, thank you so much for joining me today. And can you explain to everybody what is Chloripet?
Well, hi, Sophia, and thanks for this. It's lovely to get this chance to have a chat with you about it. Chloripet, this
Da, da, da.
fancy wee bottle here, da, 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 it's essentially it's one of the most powerful disinfectants you'll be able to get. It's quite revolutionary. It's entirely hypoallergenic. It's 100% biodegradable. It doesn't have any toxins in it, and it's completely compatible with skin. It's not harmful if it's inhaled or ingested. And just to prove that very point, so it's something like 60 times more effective than bleach. So what you're drinking here is essentially far greater than bleach. The active ingredient is a thing called hypochlorous acid. HOCl, and it's becoming much more commonly spoken about. People are becoming aware of it, and it's what your own body naturally produces to fight infection. So it's already produced in your white blood cells. So what we've done is we've found a way of reproducing what nature does naturally, if you like.
So, you know, and I know when we spoke about this before, I said Donald Trump, love him or hate him, when he stood up on that platform and said, there must be something that we can have for COVID, something
Yeah.
along the lines of bleach. And everyone went, oh my word, what is he saying? Is this the kind of thing that Donald Trump really wanted?
Um, no.
Okay.
One of the things about COVID is one of the most effective treatments to COVID is soap and water. And it was quite a revelation when society found out that actually washing your hands is one of the most effective routes of getting rid of bacteria. Revolutionary, I know. But there
And
is
soap sales went up, which is a huge worry because what were they doing beforehand? Leave it
that's the
there.
worry. But we do use disinfectants right across society, in our homes, in our workplaces. And the whole foundation of this business, we've got a brand called Chlorasol, which is a disinfectant for homes and businesses, as well as Chloripet, which is for animals. But the whole point about that, the whole ethos behind it is reducing the amount of chemicals coming into our homes and our workplaces and improving the quality of our cleaning and our disinfection. It's not a reaction against COVID. It's not a reaction against any pandemic. It's a long-term focus on having a sustainable solution, which is actually far more effective than the hazardous ones we're replacing. So when you look at the back of your bottles, if you look underneath your kitchen sink, for example, and look at all the bottles, if you look at the back side of those bottles, there's all the hazard warning labels, and it's
Yeah.
quite shocking, actually. But when it looks about the effectiveness of these disinfectants, you're supposed to spray it on a surface and leave it for 5, 10, even 15 minutes before rinsing away with clean water. And nobody
Oh,
does that.
no,
It,
didn't
it,
even know about that.
no, if you read the fine print, if you just squirt it and wipe it, it's effectively doing nothing. So
Oh.
Chlorosol, our disinfectant product, works within just a few seconds. So not only is it 60 times more effective than bleach, it works almost immediately. And the thing about Chloripet is that it's not just antibacterial, but it's antiviral, antisporicide, and antifungicide. It kills pathogens, and it kills to
Mm.
log 6, so it's 99.9999. It's significantly more effective than any of the harsh chemical products. Yet
Mm.
it's got full sustainability in that it's got the lowest carbon footprint of any comparable product. It's 100% biodegradable. There's no toxins in it. So when this actually breaks
Mm.
down, it just breaks down to salt and water, nothing else.
That's
Um,
fascinating, isn't it?
so I and it's actually suitable for direct food contact as well. So if you spray this on a dog's paw, for example, and I've got a wee lockdown puppy, and he's
Oh.
terrible. If you spray anything in his paws, he instantly licks them.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
yes. Yeah.
so with this, you can, well, it's absolutely, it's not hazardous in any way at all should you do that. And one of the other things about this is that you can actually use it to clean their eyes because it's so gentle. And the vast majority of it is salt and water. So you can use it to clean their eyes or their ears or anything else like
Ah.
that. So there's no irritation, no sensitivity, anything else like that.
And it's getting the mindset away that it does not have any harmful toxins. There are no toxins within that.
There is a perception out. It's a misconception, but there is a perception in society that if you go for the sustainable option, you need to compromise, and you need to compromise in terms of performance or cost, or you can only use it in certain things. And others. The reality is that we've got a product which is significantly better for the environment, for us individually, and it actually performs better than the products it replaces. I found I was using it all the time, and so that's why I thought, right, okay, we've got a product which actually works really, really well, and it's fully approved. So that's why we launched the Chloripet brand. But where can you use it?
What do vets use it for? So you've got
Well, you
it's
can actually,
veterinary approved. So
yeah,
what are
it's
they
veterinary
buying it
approved.
in for?
I would like to make the clarification there, sorry,
Yeah.
that veterinary approved, it's veterinary approvals.
Mm-hmm.
So it's part of the EN certification that it's approved for use for veterinary applications.
Mm-hmm.
So what you can use it for is, for example, if you've got crusty eyes, you can use it to wipe away
I
any
know.
kind of
Yeah.
residue, and if it
Yeah.
gets into their eyes, it's absolutely fine. Another one which we found extremely useful is for itchy ears. One customer, a dog was quite old. All his life,
Mm.
he had terrible itchy ears, really, really bad. He was always getting in
Oh.
and attacking his ears. For the last 6 months or so, his ears were absolutely fine because he sprayed him with Chloripet, and it was almost miraculous that it soothed the itching almost immediately.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
last good few months was absolutely fine. So, but persistent skin irritations,
Ah,
be it an
yes.
allergy,
Yeah.
itchy paws in the summer with grass, any kind of irritations like that, Chloripet will soothe the irritation and remove any bacteria that kind of causes any further infection or inflammation.
Yeah. And I was talking to you about someone I know, and she's got two new kittens and rescue kittens, which is lovely. And as she described them, they're a bit smelly. And you were saying, what were you saying?
Yeah. What I was saying is that most odors come from bacteria.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the bacteria that when you're smelling an odor, it's really the bacteria that you're smelling. So Chloripet
Ta-da!
will actually destroy the bacteria. So it's not that, and I don't want to mention any brands, but products such as Febreze and others
Oh
like it,
yes, yeah.
they can tend to mask the smells. Um,
Oh,
this doesn't. This will Chloripet destroys the bacteria and it destroys it on contact. So it's phenomenal for spraying down any furniture that dogs or smelly cats have been lying on.
yes.
Wet dog is really effective
Wet,
against wet dog smell. Your
yes.
wet dog smell is brilliant for that. So
Yeah.
cars, furniture, it's great for spraying down children as well. But it's really good because it gets to the source of it. It's not as if
Yeah.
you're masking anything. You're actually attacking the source of that pong.
Yeah. Brilliantly put. Right, let's move on to Chloripet Equine because this
Yes.
I used to ride many years ago, and I kind of gave up riding when I fell on the jump that the Shetland pony didn't want to jump on. But that Shetland pony suffered, and some of them I saw in the summer in particular suffered from sweet itch. And then in the winter, you then, well, not us, but the horses, ponies then suffer from mud fever, which is like horrendous. Can you
Yeah,
describe the
yeah,
two? Because
yeah,
I know that
yeah.
it was amazing to hear about sweet itch, and I didn't know about mud fever. Mud fever. So
Yeah.
to all horse owners and equine people who deal in the equestrian market, tell us about it.
So there's horses are susceptible to a wide variety of infections. It's quite a lot of horses can be very sensitive to cuts and scrapes. They can get sweet itch as a reaction against insect bites, midges, black flies, etc. It becomes a real irritation. They start scratching. It can be
It's
very dry.
awful. They can't do
But
anything about it. It's terrible.
that's the thing. There's nothing they can do. You see a dog scratching its ear. A horse just needs to rub it against a fence post, and
Yeah.
it can be very painful. Mud fever was standing about muddy fields, or one of the other problems with horses is equine thrush.
Oh.
And that, yeah, it's awful. It gets into the soft area of a horse's foot. It's called a frog, and it kind of gets into that, and it causes horrible smells, noxious
Oh.
odors, black residue comes. It's really unpleasant
Ew.
and extremely painful for the horse.
Yeah.
So, as I said earlier, Chloripet it works against pathogens. So it's not for a particular pathogen. It's not like a vaccine again, which is against one particular bacteria or whatever. It works across them all. So what we found is that for sweet itch, we were working with someone whose horse his pony had awful sweet itch and had it for years. So it was just
Oh,
she just thought it was just one of these things. It's a kind of chronic condition that it's always got a very sort of
yeah.
dry, irritable bit. Within 1 week of spraying with Chloripet, it was pretty much on the mend. Hair was growing back. It was
Oh,
fantastic. It was great
and relief
and
for the
relief.
yeah.
So we've also been working with Ian Jordan Racing in Dumfries, and they're prestigious stables, and they were trying it for mud fever, but also for equine thrush, and they found it, particularly for the thrush, they found it extremely effective.
If there's veterinary practice, if there's equestrian stable owner, horse trainer out there, how can they get in touch with you?
Before I mention that,
Okay.
just something that you mentioned there, and we've actually got a small bottle as well. And the
Okay.
reason why I'm mentioning this, so this is a small, we just call it sanitizer, just a wee small spray.
Yeah.
And it's ideal. So we're working with a company called Paw Aid, and it's for first aid packs for pet owners. So you can take it away with you and actually use it to clean up the toys once you're throwing them in the field. You don't know quite what's
Yeah.
on it.
Oh, yeah.
But
True.
also, so you can carry this with you, and it's just a wee handy size, and it's a metal bottle which you can just stick in your pocket.
Why
And
don't you just show us all and just
so that's, I'm just trying to get in
okay?
front of the camera.
Yeah,
So
lovely.
the idea is that, so all these products can be refilled. So the
Oh,
idea
good.
is that if you buy, for example, if you bought the two of them, you can actually use this bottle to refill the smaller one and
That
actually
makes
carry this
sense.
around with you. So,
Yeah. Instead of having to buy
or you
new
can
every
use
time.
this as a more, it's quite handy as a wee kind of spray bottle. So you can just sort of carry it around and you can operate
Yeah.
it one-handed while working with the horse, the dog, or whatever. So you're asking where you can get
Mm.
it, and
Mm.
most importantly, you can buy it online at
Yeah.
chloripet.uk. It's a phenomenally effective product, and we just need to get it out there,
Yeah.
and it will help animals throughout the country.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much for joining me
No,
today,
thank you,
Ken.
thank you. It's lovely to
And
speak to you.
I hope
Yeah.
everyone you find this really interesting because I certainly did. And as Ken says, any questions, any queries, please go onto his website and drop him a note, see what it's all about. Thank you very much for joining us today.